Okay, so this was the top for our November 12th. Our finalist was, Anti-Dick Face Meta by Josh.
The owner and operator, folks. Alright, so it's made a couple of changes since the last time I allowed Dalton to do the deck profile. It went to regionals, experienced some stuff, made some major changes. Here it is. Alright, so we're going to start off with the main deck. Monster count is low, as always, just like most Demise decks. We got triple Fossil Dyna, or Philosodina, as Dalton likes to call it. Basically, stop special summons completely, lock down the board, okay? Then, 3 of his brothers. Barrier Statue of the Drought. So he stops special summons of anything that is not Earth. For the most part in this format, we don't have too many Earth decks. Please, yes, is still a thing. I took a risk of it not being there. I also side the other statues just in case. Then for our one-ups, Banisher of Radiance, which is basically a walking, talking Macros Cosmos. Basically banishes the stuff that ends up in the graveyard. One of Thunder King Ryo, stop searches, also has the effect where if they summon something, I contribute it and negate the summon. That's all. That's the monster count, folks. That is a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 monsters altogether. Try to keep the count low, that way I can keep my floodgates and my trap cards high. Alright, moving on to the spell cards. We got triple card Demise. Gotta do it. Basically for draw power, obviously. Works great with Pot of Duality. Once again, have to, it's a must. MVP of the deck, honestly. We actually did a little bit of a trial basis to see if Mage Power would be a replacement for this. It is not, folks. Triple Moon Mirror Shield. Can get over everything, including Chaos Max. Chaos Max is kryptonite for this deck, honestly. Then moving on, we got Magic Planters. We run quite a bit of continuous traps, so if I need a little bit extra draw power, I use these. Then our newest addition to the deck.
Footnote, do not activate Magical Planter when you have Macro Cosmos on the field.
It will not work, folks. It will not. Then our newest addition to the Anti-Dick Face Meta profile. Dark Sanctuary. You saw it in the video, it didn't quite get to show off what it really can do. So basically, it's a 50-50 chance card, okay? You gotta flip a coin for it. Basically, someone attacks you, you flip the coin, if you hit heads, then it negates their attack, and they take half of the attack of the attacking monster. It's a 50-50 chance, but worth it. This went really good in my matchup against the... What deck was that? Frog Heroes deck. He practically burned himself to death in the end. Alright, moving on. One of Dimensional Fisher. Just like Macros Cosmos, banishes all the stuff.
Just the monsters.
Or just the monsters, yeah. Moving on from spell cards, into the traps. Alright, we're going to start off with the counter traps, my personal favorites. MVP of the deck, Dark Bribes. Cancel out a Twin Twister, Rageki, Dark Hole, or really any spell and trap card that activates. Let them draw. You can have your draws. Alright, double Solemn Strike. And to go along with it, Solemn Warning. Now, some might wonder why I'm not running the full Solemn Brigade of 3 strikes and a warning. I side the 3rd strike. I felt like I needed the space for other thing. Seemed to work out for me. Then we're going into Phantom Knight Sword. Save your monster from destruction. Give him an extra 800 boost. Seems legit.
Folks, let's put it on the bigger monster next time.
Alright, we're doing double lose 1 turn. Now, along with the planters, I sided this out during regionals and I really regretted it. Ended up getting smacked around by Farfa. So I wish I had this during regionals. Maybe I would have done better. But then again, 21 out of 96 ain't bad.
It's also a learning point for him.
Yeah. Macros Cosmos at 1, because it is 1. Banish. 3 of Quaking Mirror Force. For this deck, in my opinion, this is the best Mirror Force. Some might wonder why I don't run Drowning. Because I don't want to ever not have monsters on my field. And for Drownings, you need to have no monsters on the field. So that's not my thing with this deck.
Yeah.
Double Phantom Knight Wings. Good card, very similar to the sword, except it's not a continuous. It gives 500, also protects it.
Josh always wondered why we played that instead of Forbidden Lance. But that's okay, he figured it out that later.
We did. And the last card, a bottomless trapple. I didn't used to play this, but then I told myself, it's at 1. Why am I not playing this? Saved me on a few duels, honestly. Alright, moving on to the side deck. So we're going to start off with the monsters. Banisher of Radiance, that's where the last 2 are. If I face a deck that really needs its graveyard, I usually side in those. Earth, Fire, Wind.
I recall this is water.
Sorry, Water, Fire, Wind. Just in case, I need to side out my Urks because someone's playing Klee or some other Earth type deck. Thunder King, the last one. In case I run into a deck that seems to search a hell of a lot. Got a second one there. Moving on to the spell cards. Triple Mystical Space Typhoon. In case you face off against a deck where they can side something that is real detrimental to you, for example, Skill Drain, something along those lines, something to defend yourself with.
And you play this instead of Twin Twisters because...
Because we want to keep our stuff. We don't want to discard things willy-nilly, if you will. One ofs, Rageki. I used to main board this. I still like it in the main board. I'm trying it in the side deck. Destruction. Moving on to the traps. Alright. Double Chaos Trap Hole. I really like to run this card because there is a lot of light and dark decks in the format right now. Activate it, negate their summon, and banish them. Although you have to pay 2,000. Vanity's Emptiness. Now, I already run 3 Fossil Dyna and 3 of the Barrier Statue of the Drought. I didn't feel like I needed this in the main board, but I still wanted to have it in my sideboard just in case. My last Solemn Strike, and my last Lose One Turn. And that is the side deck. Now, as far as the extra deck, there is no extra deck. We do not use an extra deck with this deck, although we could. I did run into a situation where I could have overlaid 2 of my Droughts in order to summon something of an Earth capacity. So run rank 4s. That way, in case you get like skill drained or something, you have some kind of response that you possibly can make. But really, if you get skill drained and you don't have like a MST or something to get rid of it, you're basically screwed.
Last build, we had Ariana Grande. Any specific reason why you took her out?
Well, I kind of ran out of space, in all honesty, and I really did like Ariana Grande in there, but she was never quite there when I needed her, and she would come at the wrong time, so I decided that I would try a build without her. And so far, it's been successful.
Are there any last words for your viewers regarding the deck?
Well, folks, this is what we call cancer in its purest form, folks. I don't play this deck a lot because it gets a really bad reaction, so I try to keep it at like once a month, and that's what I would suggest for you too. That's it.
Okay, so this was our anti-dick face meta and the finalists for our November 12th tournament. Don't forget to scoop in the end phase.